Thank you so much. What we just heard was a very well-known Israeli song that we've interpreted. I kind of like to take well-known songs from the mainstream or like pop or the singer-songwriter that I really really like and perform them like they were jazz standards, because I realize that although as much as I love American jazz, that's not where I'm from. So I thought I'll take the song that I grew up with and see what I can do with them. And I think that's maybe something that joins, besides that we just really love each other, good friends, but we're drawing on the really very very diverse musical tradition you can hear in Israel. Because you could hear songs like this, and then the next you could hear a song like Yogev, and you can hear a song, it's very very different, or something very Eastern European. Yes, we're gonna play one more song, an Israeli song called Everybody Knows. I want to tell you a little story about that. So that song is composed and written by a singer called Ehud Banai, who I guess is like the Bob Dylan of Israel. He's, probably the biggest living Israeli artist today, or at least one of them. He's amazing. And I've been playing this song for 12 years now. So I have it on 2 different albums. That's how much I love it. And then when I moved to Denmark, I was living in Berlin, and I moved to Denmark 4 years ago or 5 years ago. And on my first concert there, someone came to me from the audience and said, "Hey man, you're from Israel. I have an Israeli friend. Maybe you know him." So I'm thinking, yeah, well, because I know everyone in Israel, of course. And he said, yeah, his name is Ehud Banai. And I'm like, what? You know Ehud Banai? How do you know Ehud Banai? He said, yeah, in the 70s, we were both hippies. We picked up olives in Cyprus. We're sleeping on the beach. That's how we met. And I'll write to him about you. And I said, okay, man, tell him that I love him. I'd love to play with him. He's my favorite, Israeli singer. And then 2 days later, I get a mail, dear Eyal, this is Ehud. How can we play? Where should we meet? And then 2 years later, we had a tour in Scandinavia. Jan was playing with us also. We played with Ehud Banai in my band, his music all through Scandinavia, and that was incredible. So this song, Everybody Knows, basically the story of the song is we should live and love today, because how things end, everybody knows.
Thank you so much for the great audience we have here tonight. Thank you, thank you. So next composition, also from the third album. By the way, it's called the album called Way of Tradition. Yeah, I mentioned it first. So yeah. So this one called I will say short story behind this, and I'll tell you the name of this composition. So one day, my daughter Ayala, 13 years old, she just played randomly on the piano. She played like this. Yeah, I was around, and I started to hear in my mind like the harmony, the melody, complete composition. So I came to her and I asked if I can compose it, and she said, "Yeah, of course." And she asked, "Yeah, if we compose it together, it will be in the next album." I said, "Yeah, of course, why not?" I hear already the whole, the whole composition. So, and then Evyatar, my son, 11 years old, came and we start kind of play together ideas. He said, "Yeah, let's do like this." I said, "Yeah, let's do this." So, and then I asked, "Okay, it's going to be on the next album. What is the title?" They said, "Family First." So, yeah, let's try something. Okay, in the B, like the B section of this composition, there is a easy melody. That's we can try to sing together. Okay. That's one. Yeah, let's try. Easy. Again. Easy, yeah? It's super easy. So when you hear it, you can sing with us. Family First. Yeah, thank you.
you so very much. We're slowly arriving to the last song of the evening. I want to thank everyone here from Jazz Dog, for Michael, and for everyone who helped us here. It's an amazing place to play. People who live in Prague are very lucky to have this kind of jazz club. It's really a rare thing, so we should always support it and come as often as you can. We're gonna tell you that Yogev is reminding me that if you really like the music, you can take some of it home with you. We have some CDs here, over there. Not to feel pressured, but yesterday there was a guy that bought all the records we had, like all different, 6 different records, 3 from Yogev, 3 from mine. I'm just saying, but no, maybe here in Prague you want to be showing that you're even more generous. I don't know. I'm just saying. So we have such heavy suitcases to carry on. Yeah. All right, and we're going to play now one of my compositions. This one has a bit of a funny story to it. It's called Attitude, and the thing is that was back in the day when I was living in Berlin, there was a guy kind of like running this part of the scene, organizing jam sessions and some small concerts. And he wasn't like a big fish, but he thought himself of like a really important guy, and kept telling musicians how they should live their lives and how they will achieve success in their career. And we used to kind of like have some little jokes about it, and me and my friend had all kind of quotes. And one time he told me, "Eyal, man, you really play great, but you got to work on your attitude." so I thought, okay, I write a song, a very complicated song. I'll practice it, and then when he calls me and says, "Hey, Eyal, how you doing?" I'll tell him, "Oh man, I'm working on my attitude." So this is the next song, Attitude. Thank you so much. Thank everyone who came here, and yeah, please come.
Wow, what a full house, great audience. Thank you so much. Really, really excited to be here. So, thank you. This encore called the composition called Happy Melody. I wish you all the best. God bless you all. Thanks for coming. Happiness and just great, great, great life. Happy Melody, yes.